Poke Nerds, welcome in. Thank you so much for being here today. We have got our second artist spotlight. Yesterday, we took a look at Akira Egawa's art. Today, we're looking at Atsushi Furusawa's art. This is an artist who has been in the Pokemon TCG since Chilling Reign, so it's been a little bit over 4 years, almost a half decade of work in this hobby. 47 cards so far, several of which have been alt arts, really important promos, illustration rares, special illustration rares. So Atsushi Furusawa has done a lot of important work for the Pokemon TCG. Artists, I'm so happy to do this because y'all probably don't know this, but I was an art history minor, so I do love art, and art is one of the big reasons I have stayed so connected with the Pokemon trading card game over the years. Art is what keeps me coming back because you see these arts of Pokemon you love and you just re-fall in love with the IP over and over again, thanks to the work of some of these amazing artists who are in the Pokemon TCG. And we're looking over here at Cerebi.net, which is an amazing resource. There's a lot of good resources when it comes to looking at artists. But again, Atsushi Furusawa, 47 cards, has been doing it since Chilling Reign. And we're going to take a look at some of the most important cards, or at least in my opinion, some of the most important cards that Furusawa has contributed. And first card, very first card, was an alt art for Chilling Reign, the second alt art set of Sword and Shield. Very first art for Furusawa was an alt art. I mean, a lot of artists, they kind of have to work their way up a little bit. We looked at that with Akira Egawa. Akira Egawa was first starting with commons and uncommons, and they were stunning arts, but like the importance of an alt art to hit and to be a success, for that to be your first assignment, I mean, knocked it out of the park with Zeraora V. And Zeraora is one of my favorite Pokemon. Definitely top 10 for me. I just think it has some, incredible lore. I love the styling. I love electric types. So, but this art, so cool. You've got Zeraora V. You've got a mountaintop, and you've got Weavile. You've got Kecleon. You've also got Dynamax Hill, the tree on Dynamax Hill. And one thing that I think this artist does unbelievably well is play with perspective and depth of field. And, take a shot every time I say unbelievable. Trying to use different adjectives here, but Zeraora V looks like it's looking at the Dynamax tree here. But I think that this is the artist kind of playing with that perspective and depth of field again. Like, is it looking at the sunlight glistening off of its claws? Is it looking at the tree there? I don't think it actually is. I think it's looking at something else, which is kind of leaving me with some mystery. And this card is in my personal collection. I told you all I love Zeraora. But it looks like all these Pokemon are looking at something specific. And if you're not paying attention to the depth of field, it looks like it might be the tree there at Dynatree Hill. But I think it's something else. Maybe it's the sunlight. Maybe it's the snow falling down onto the mountaintop. I think it is the snow. But it's a beautiful card. And, from an art line work perspective, I think that most of the line work is very subtle. There are black lines outlining certain aspects of the cards, and that'll ring true for most of the artwork here. But like we've looked at different artists and talked about different artists that have unique styles. And I think one thing here that we can definitely identify with Atsushi Furusawa is the depth of field, the dynamic environments around the Pokemon. And there's also generally, not in every card, but in a lot of these cards, we're going to see a lot of different Pokemon featured besides the Pokemon whose card it is. So I love this Zeraora V card. I could look at it all day. There's just so much to break down. But we've also got Dragonite V from Evolving Skies. Chilling Reign was the second alt art set. Evolving Skies, the most important alt art set. And really, at this time period, like probably the most hyped set we've ever had. I know Destined Rivals may challenge that, but Evolving Skies is a truly remarkable set. Dragonite V, I think we're also seeing a lot of levity, like a lightness, an airiness, a cuteness to these cards so far from Furusawa. And you've got Dragonite just kind of chilling, resting, floating high in the sky clearly. You've got the Firo and the Sparrow kind of flocking beneath it. Again, the depth of field, strong there. The environment, the multiple Pokemon featured in these cards, the light line work. It's another stunner. Can't get over how great these cards are and how Furusawa just got thrusted right in to doing really important works. I mean, Dragonite is an iconic Pokemon. Zeraora, not as iconic, certainly newer, but both of those are big time, and so is Suicune. I mean, you're talking about going back to Gold and Silver, Suicune, Entei, and obviously Raikou, originally known as the Legendary Dogs, now Legendary Beasts because they're not really dogs. But this Suicune V is from Crown Zenith, which is my favorite set of all time. So Akira Egawa, who we talked about yesterday, had a huge impact on Crown Zenith. So does Atsushi Furusawa here. And the Suicune V, there's no other Pokemon featured in this one that I can tell, but there is a lot of cool stuff going on. You've got a meteor shower overhead. You've got a beautiful sky, almost like Northern Lights-ish. I'm not sure that definitely Northern Lights, but definitely adjacent. So many colors and lights in the sky there. And then you've got beautiful glaciers. Like the colors here really pop with these glaciers that are surrounding Suicune. This is masterful. And in all these cards, you've got some sort of snow or clouds, some white light to kind of, again, add some levity, I think. Suicune looking regal in this one. You also got the Vaporeon VMAX, which is kind of part of the Evolving Skies, the collection box, the promo here. You had the Vaporeon, Flareon, Jolteon. The Vaporeon VMAX is another one that's awesome that features a lot of Pokemon from Furusawa. Vaporeon VMAX, under the water here. And at first glance, you might not think that Vaporeon VMAX looks all that big, but then you actually look at the Pokemon surrounding it, and the Mantike is actually in front of it, and Mantine is actually in front of it, and then you're like, oh my gosh, this Vaporeon VMAX is absolutely massive. The Milotic kind of playfully swimming around it. You've got the Jellicent as well. You've got Feebas. You've got Horsey there. The Wishy-Washy. There's so many Pokemon, and you've also got some Coral down at the very bottom. But to me, this is one of the coolest promos you're going to find. I think the Vaporeon VMAX really hits hard. And again, a cuteness to this, a levity, a lightness. I think that is really a key element to a lot of the cards that Furusawa is illustrating for Pokemon. And then you've got the Arceus V here. Again, has multiple Pokemon in the foreground and background, kind of showing that depth of field. You've got Arceus clearly at the center, at the focus of this. But it's another card that really shows off Furusawa's style and talent. This is one of my friend Ryan's favorites. Shout out to Ryan. Shout out to all of our channel members, by the way. Channel membership, $2.99 a month. We do giveaways every single week. Our giveaway for tomorrow, Friday, August 15th, is these two Pikachu cards from Crown Zenith. You got the Secret Rare, you got the Galarian Gallery. $2.99 a month. Giveaways every single week for our channel members. We've also got this Fletchinder. And now Furusawa wasn't as active on some of these big hit cards in the Scarlet and Violet era as they were from, Chilling Reign on through the Sword and Shield era. But Fletchender is it's kind of a unique one. You definitely see some of the similar line work, the lighting, the depth of field, but you don't see any other Pokemon. It's not like particularly, a light scene. It's not a heavy scene either. It's just a Fletchender, chilling by the fire at a campsite. So it looks like you got some hot cocoa, you got your lantern, your fire, Fletchender fireside, you got an axe in the stump in the background. It's not like one of these cards that everyone's going to be obsessed with, but this is another example of a really nice art that I am a fan of. And I think if you collect illustration rares, this is definitely one that's worth adding to the collection. And I think a Atsushi Furusawa binder page or a couple binder pages would definitely elevate your binder of Pokemon cards. This one can be had at a very, very reasonable price. They did some other illustration rares throughout Scarlet and Violet. Wanted to look at the promo from Paldea Evolved as well. From the ETB, we've got Pikachu and the starters from Paldea, Fuecoco, Sprigatito, Quaxley. Looks like you're actually leaving the protagonist's home there and heading out on your grand adventure in Paldea, which kind of makes sense with the Paldea Evolved set being so Paldean-centric. There's the starters, illustration rares, special illustration rares. There's the Tinkaton. There's the legendaries. So this card, very cute. Again, that lightness, levity that you see in a lot of Furusawa's artworks is definitely very present here. You've got the brand new starters along with kind of the, not the original starter, but one of the original starters if you started with Pokemon Yellow instead of Red or Blue. But this is another really cute card. And then, as I mentioned, there was kind of a gap in between doing these massive chase cards for Furusawa, but Destined Rivals comes back around, Heatwave Arena on the Japanese side, and they're right back at it with, in my opinion, the best Ho-Oh card to exist to this day. And I know fans of Vintage are going to be like, no way, Skyridge, whatever. But to me, this is by far the best Ho-Oh. I actually pulled this from Heatwave Arena a few weeks back, and this is just one of my favorite cards. I absolutely love it. It's so nostalgic for me. Going back to Gold and Silver, going back to that time period of the anime. Ethan, the protagonist from the games, basically, your avatar looking up at Ho-Oh. It doesn't get better. And beautiful lighting. The clouds, so many different colors in the clouds up there. Again, you have the depth of field with kind of the tall grass blurred out in the front foreground, and Ethan and Ho-Oh being the focus. So beautiful. Amazing card. And Mega Lucario. Yeah, Mega Lucario EX. Also did Lily's Determination full art, I believe, and then the standard version of the card, not the special illustration rare version, but this Mega Lucario, one of my favorite Pokemon cards of all time, and I still have not seen it in person. But it is on the way to me right now. I've tried to pull it, haven't had success, but it is on its way. Japanese version from Mega Brave. So many great things about this card. Again, perspective is neat. You've got the Mega Lucario's fist, Furious Fist, if you will, kind of the closest thing to the camera here, and it looks like it's about to give Venusaur an absolute wallop. You've got kind of the flashes of light from the Mega, the blues and reds from Mega Lucario. You've got a fight with Venusaur, Mega Venusaur, which an epic battle to be sure. The colors pop here. And then you've got the cityscape, which, I'm assuming it's Lumios from the upcoming games. You've got Megalatias soaring underneath. You've got Manectric, Mega Manectric, and Mega Abomasnow in a little battle there. You've also got Kangaskhan and Mawile. Mega Kangaskhan and Mega Mawile getting after it in a battle. I mean, how detailed and cool is this card? Probably something I'm missing somewhere. But yeah, I've studied this one a lot. And again, even though you're having like this mega battle, there's like a levity to it, a lightness, a airiness, and colorful. It's like really honoring the Pokemon and really the Pokemon IP. I absolutely love this card so much. And that's going to do it for our spotlight on artist Atsushi Furusawa. Again, 47 cards so far. Started with Chilling Reign a little over 4 years ago. And you can scroll through all the cards on Cerebi. If you just Google Atsushi Furusawa Pokemon cards, you'll be able to find a lot of them, or find a lot of different resources to look at all of them. But yeah, so yeah, there's that Lily's Determination full art, which I was able to pull. Not the SIR, but the full art. And that's a really cute card in its own right. A lot of the trainer full arts almost have like illustration rare, special illustration rare style quality, as compared to most of the Pokemon full arts throughout the last several eras of the TCG. Not quite as high quality, although I will definitely give them credit for what they're doing with the Mega full arts from the new Mega Block. But that's going to do it. Really appreciate y'all tuning in. If you enjoy the content here, please like and subscribe. Y'all have a good one.